this is Ben Ivey, the fulfillment artist. And in this video, I wanted to teach you about the power of volunteering, right? This is another power of volunteering thing, right? I talked about the power of mastermind previously, now we're on the power of volunteering. Why am I talking about this? Because I've noticed there's a couple of things that I do in my life that I haven't shared with you that I think is going to be incredibly important for you to be able to build the connections that you need and ultimately to be able to create the life that you want to live for yourself. So let's dive into this a little bit more. What do I mean by this? Well, one of the first things that I started to do volunteering-wise was helping teach some public speakers to be more inspirational for some of the TEDx's in China. So I started this like 4 or 5 years ago. And I just went along, didn't really know what I was doing, right? I mean, I'd done talks and things like that, but I really wanted to give back. So anyway, I started to meet people that you would never, ever normally get to meet. I mean, people that are top of their business, giving TEDx's, like one of the top public speaking coaches in Shanghai was giving a TEDx. And I'm there and I'm like just giving him feedback and telling him exactly what like he needs to change and switch. And because of that, you just meet some amazing, amazing contacts. Actually, I'll share this with you. So through my volunteering, I was actually going to do a TEDx in Chinese 2 or 3 years, no, 3 years ago now, 3 years ago in Chinese. Can you believe that? Like my Chinese is still at a pretty good level now, but I couldn't even imagine doing a TEDx 3 years ago. Anyway, it got cancelled by the Chinese government 2 days before. But the point is I met lots of people through this and have had great contacts. So one of the things that I volunteered through is the TEDx's, right? And then through that you get different opportunities and you just get to meet new people. Another thing is Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within. So I go back, I volunteer because I get to meet such a cool group of people. There's like a fantastic network. You get to meet people in different areas and ultimately I get to see from a different perspective how they run events, how they impact people, and you meet people that are very similar to you when you volunteer in environments that you really enjoy. So for example, going to the Tony Robbins events, I really enjoy being able to immerse myself in a culture where I start to understand and see how people have transformed their lives, what they do, what are they doing now, how have they built up their business. Really, really fascinating, right? Another thing that I do is I'm volunteering at the Power to Achieve weekend. Okay, this is by a guy called Andy Harrington. It's been about 4 years since I first attended one of his events. But I'm going back, number one, to get content to see what I can do differently. Number two, how is it that I can learn and model from other people? So how do we dive into this volunteering a little bit more? Well, what I want you to think about is, what is it that you want to be able to do in life, right? So for myself, I'm running transformative events. I do coaching with people and I train people to do what I do. And ultimately, I want to volunteer at places where they're running bigger events and doing bigger things. And with regards to the public speaking, I want to improve my public speaking. One of the best ways to improve is to teach it. Right, so this is some of the ways that I think it's just incredibly powerful for volunteering for me. But let's say your business is in dancing, or you have an online business doing digital marketing, or there's something specific that you do. What I want you to think about is, what events or what situations could you expose yourself to as a volunteer that would get you to meet part of that network, so you could not only understand where people are, maybe like expose yourself to new clientele. Like there's so many different ways. So I don't mean to go and say that you're volunteering from the perspective of, okay, well, I'm doing this because I want clients. I want you to go with the purpose of to serve. And if you have that purpose of to serve, most likely people are going to see that and be attracted to you. But it's a very, very, very different way of being. So with that said, what I want you to do is to think about, okay, well, how can I apply this to my life? So perhaps write down some ways in which you could volunteer. Maybe you volunteer for a podcast, or you volunteer doing graphic design for a big company. Maybe you volunteer just helping out one of your friends, because you never know who you're going to meet. So with that said, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment if you've got any questions about this, or if you want some more resources. And I'm very excited to speak to you very soon. Thank you for watching.